So as we're all aware, the post-Roe world is here, and it's not theoretical. You've heard a lot of Republicans say recently that they're not extremists on abortion, and they allow exceptions, and people are overreacting. No, people are not overreacting. This is a real-life case of a real-life person that's happening right now in Texas.
In Texas, a district court judge granted an emergency motion allowing a woman to get an abortion. After 20 weeks of pregnancy, 31-year-old Kate Cox learned her fetus has a fatal abnormality. Her life and fertility were at risk. But Texas has a series of abortion bans that are so strict, with medical exemptions so narrow, that people like Kate Cox need to get a judge to approve life-saving abortions. So last week, Cox and her husband sued the state of Texas so that she could have the procedure. In the court hearing today, the Texas Attorney General's office argued that Ms. Cox does not qualify for a medical exemption under the state's abortion laws, but the judge disagreed, saying the idea that Ms. Cox desperately wants to be a parent and this law might actually cause her to lose that ability is shocking and would be a genuine miscarriage of justice. Experts expect Texas to appeal today's decision, and what that means for Cox's abortion is unclear. In the meantime, Attorney General Paxton sent a letter to 3 Texas hospitals warning that the judge's motion will not insulate you or anyone else from civil and criminal liability for violating Texas's abortion laws. It does not enjoin actions brought by private citizens.
So this woman who wanted her baby finds out later in the pregnancy that the baby has a fetal abnormality that'll make it so that it might be born stillborn and won't live outside the womb. And that by carrying the pregnancy to term, she may be unable to have kids again. And the draconian laws in Texas make it so that she can't have one. So she goes to a judge and the judge grants it. And now the criminal AG, who should have been impeached a couple months ago, who has a bunch of indictments pending against him, and who also tried to participate in the coup, like full on criminal, he sends a letter to the hospitals telling them that if they perform the abortion, that they're not going to be immune from criminal prosecution after the judge ruled in her favor. It's amazing when they talk about rule of law, the courts, they're so important. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. If it does not comport with what they're already wanting to do, they will just cheat or they will just ignore it. And he is now trying to appeal it after this ruling to the Texas Supreme Court. This happened recently. Ohio voted on abortion. And what did the Republicans do? They're like, why don't we just ignore it? So she's still pregnant. And because the monsters in Texas want to play political games with her, she could not only lose her ability to ever conceive again, because they're so pro-life, but she could also lose her life. Not to mention the psychological trauma you're putting her through. Just understand that this is what they want on a national level. When you hear the Republicans going, oh, we do allow for exceptions. No, they don't. They want this across the fucking country. They keep telling us who they are and what they want to do, and we should believe them. Missouri lawmakers proposed allowing homicide charges for women and people who can get pregnant who have abortions. New Hampshire proposed a 15-day abortion ban that would effectively outlaw. Obviously, who the fuck knows that they're pregnant at 15 days? 15 days is a late period. These people are barbaric. They don't care about life. They don't care, clearly, because they don't care about this woman's life. The fact that she went to court and then Ken Paxton filed a petition to block it, knowing the details of her situation, just reveals once again what barbaric monsters they are. Never let them convince you that this is about life. They don't give a fuck about life. They just want to control women. They want to punish people who can get pregnant, and they want to sue doctors. They want to criminalize doctors, and they want to criminalize women and people who can get pregnant. I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that there's no way that these people could get worse. No, they can always get worse. They tell us who they are. They tell us what they're going to do. And then we act shocked when they do it. These sociopaths have made very clear that they want a full-on abortion ban as early as possible, no exceptions, and they want to pander to their right-wing deranged evangelical base. And if that means that some people might lose their lives, well, that's politics.